Hey, Patty.
Hi, Nick.
Good to see you.
My dog will probably start flipping out, but that's okay.
Hey, that's fine. Lots of pets in the videos these days. Nobody minds.
I know. I don't know why she cares.
We see lots of cat butts for some reason, and they're like, "What's going on?"
I know. I even use her as a weight sometimes when we hike because she won't walk up the rocks, so I just carry her.
There you go. There's your weighted sandbag, exactly.
I'm like, there's 15 pounds right there.
Your opportunity to, carry some extra weight. See, Kathy with a cat.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Patty was apologizing if her dog comes on. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's animals all the time.
As soon as I open this computer every morning, because it sits on the couch, as soon as I sit on the stool and look at the computer, Howie's like, "Hey, what are we doing?"
I know. They don't miss a trick.
Loving it, yeah.
And every morning he comes in and he watches the screen for a while, and then he goes and sits next to it on a blanket and goes to sleep.
The cats are amazing.
Sometimes by the stretching during a regular CrossFit class, he's snoring.
Yeah, our old cat that passed this winter used to do that. We're like, really? Cats snore?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
We got beautiful weekend, huh? Beautiful day today.
It's so nice.
Hopefully
Yeah, pollen level's a little high, though.
Really? Everything's, over the last couple of weeks, I'm sure everything's like popping and ready to explode.
Yeah, everything's blooming. It's so pretty.
It's tree pollen that's really high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What factors are considered for that? Just like time of year, or again, same thing with
that the leaves are starting to come out. All the trees are.
Ash.
Hey.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Oh, how was trivia?
What was that, Ash?
All my friends are in the computer.
I know, right? Gotta go hang out with my friends again, guys. Trivia was awesome. How many did we have? I don't even know. We had a gaggle, 20, 25 people. Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. Hopefully you guys found it entertaining.
Oh, for sure.
I sent Peter like a video after. It's like, what is this ball thing? And this guy pokes at it, and then it just explodes with baby spiders crawling all the way down the wall.
Oh my God.
You've seen that on the internet? It's like this craziest thing ever. It's like in the corner of the skies, something, and they're like, "What is that?" And then they're like, "Ugh."
Oh.
Just like literally hundreds. We gotta get them like it's good. You know how they do like onions in like a caramelized, like instead of a caramel apple, they like people biting onions. We gotta do something with olives to Peter now. Somebody chocolate covered
olives.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh my God.
We should fill a whoopie pie with olives.
Yeah. Yeah, like white cream just on the outside, but then like an like olives on the inside.
Yes.
Yeah, these are good ideas here. Let's keep brainstorming.
He doesn't go back and listen to these, does he?
I'll crop it out.
Oh yeah, Tiffany she'll edit this till we start class.
Okay.
So the mobility class, everything's recorded, but we are doing so many Zoom calls. We dump the recordings after a week of workouts. And in the mobility classes, we save though, and she'll edit and she puts these on YouTube because these are like, I don't want to say more valuable, but you can actually see something for half an hour. If you want to go to a good mobility routine that we did, then it's like me and Tiffany practicing the mobility stretches for the half hour or so. Versus like, I tried to go back and watch a video because Jessie Mason, she hurt herself on a box jump and I wanted to go watch it. And I was like, it's just an hour of this. Like just looking around. Oh, I got some feedback. Tony and Carol, how we doing?
Good.
Okay. I know. Yeah, small group. We were up party until 10 o'clock? It was a late night. I asked Tiffany, I was joking. I was like, Tiffany, can we like do the Zoom call from our bed? So like, cause we usually like put the kids to bed and like walk downstairs and go to bed like 9:15, 9:30. And she's a zombie after 8 anyways. So, all right. It's 7:01. I think we're going to do it. We ready to rock?
Pete said yesterday he was going to have to take a nap to get ready to do.
Yeah. They were like,
I had to drink like a regular coffee during the day to stay awake.
Yeah, she did. Maisie's going to be addicted to caffeine.
We were just eating dinner at 8.
Yeah.
I only have one regular coffee a day, and then I usually have decaf, but I had 2 regular coffees yesterday.
Hey, Pocket.
If both my girls love coffee, so.
Oh, yeah,
like
your
beer.
girls do. My boys started drinking coffee too. We have to make Maddie a coffee every day, Stacey. It's just like a cup of almond milk, but he's like, I need my coffee. We're looking at each other, we're like, that's a problem we created.
Yeah, I learned it from you. All
I
right.
love it.
So you don't give him actual coffee? Because Marin's bugging the hell out of me for coffee.
No, that's a good. I don't know what age you would start giving a kid. I remember when I
Pretty
heard
sure it's not 3, but
Yeah. Oh, the kid's got good taste.
yeah, I don't know when you start drinking coffee. Maybe high school.
teenager-ish.
Yeah.
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 Like
Freshman-
Addie, my sister,
Freshman
like
year.
15, we let her have a coffee here or there. Like,
I'll never forget when I ordered my first cup of coffee, or I made it or something like that, whatever we did, and then my first like adult, and I put the lid on, and the little spout was right by the seam in the coffee cup, and my dad's like, "That's it, you're jinxed for life," and I was like, "No, what?" He was just messing with me, but it was it like still to this day sits with me about like the
It's
seam
true.
in the lip and how it leaks
if
down
you
the
like
seam.
travel, like a to go.
Yeah. All right, let's get this party started. So I'm gonna mute y'all. Good morning. Good morning. So let's go through. I've been digging the. I think some feedback. Hold on. Mute all. I can't multitask. All right. The longer mobility hold. So we're gonna work on 2-minute drills today. 2 minutes of stretching. In a perfect world, you have maybe a wall accessible to you for just one stretch, and if not, there's 15 other stretches I can give you to do it. So don't worry about it. And then maybe like a ledge, a chair, an edge of an ottoman, something like that. Not a big deal. If not, again, there's 15 other stretches we can do. But let's start with our circle warm-up. So let's rock and roll. So give me some forward arm circles here. I'm going to start my timer so I have some feedback. All right, so just kind of loosen the body up. And then backwards arm circles, just kind of getting the blood flowing a little bit before we just wind it down again.
Should have been outside. I think it's colder down here.
Yeah, our basement's the coolest part of this entire neighborhood right now. And then back slappers. We should. We will. We can just do it right there. The internet's good. We'll give you guys a backdrop of a dirt driveway. Here's Dale. Speaking of animals, we were talking about all the animals love their guest star appearance up and down with the arms. Not only does this wake you up, it wakes me up. This circle warm up. Oh my torso twist. Tiff and I did pull-ups because we have a pull-up bar yesterday for Fran instead of burpees. Lots of sore. I haven't pulled in a while. Tiffany jumps up. She's like, "Oh, I just got the pull-ups unbroken." Took me 3 sets to get 21. All right.
Maybe it's like a counterbalance of like the belly weight.
And then hip circles.
Also good.
Hip circles in one direction. Hi, Dale. Dale. Annie, I can't believe you can't fit through the cat door.
Breaks.
And then other direction. And then hands to the floor. And hands to the sky. Reach way back. We'll just go through the easy ones here. Hi, Dale.
People are trickling on. We got a group
There we
now.
go. It was just a late night. It was a late night.
Probably
Sleeping-
the latest we've been awake since quarantine.
Yeah, lateral lunges.
So exciting we are.
Get some little stretches in there. All right, then a little mobility squat. We'll go through a few more here. Settle in for about 20 seconds or so. Lift the chest, drive the knees out. So today we're just gonna continue with the 2-minute stretches. All right, so we're gonna pick some stretches, hopefully some good ones, kind of settle into it. And really just kind of talk you through, again, staying engaged. It's one of those things everybody can do on their own time, But sometimes we need a little nudge, myself included. I haven't held stretches for 2 minutes since last week. So dive back for spine rockers. So if you have room, rock back and forth, right, on our yoga mats or on old school CrossFit mats. Tiffany says the shoes are coming off. Belly okay?
I just my turn.
You still want to do it?
Right now.
And one more, then a T drill. So shoulders pinned to the ground, reach the leg to the other side, get a little twist in there. 1, and then the other side is 2. About 3 to 5 on each side. I know, I do. All right, and then final one, just down dog, up dog. Like I said, we don't want to get into too many of them. Get a couple of calf pumps in there, just getting the blood flowing, loading the shoulders. Yeah. And then from there, if you have a wall or an object like a post, I want you to use it. If you have a dumbbell or a ledge or a stair, you can use that also. We're just going to start from the bottom up today. We usually start from the top down and do shoulder stretches, but we're just going to start doing a calf stretch. So if you have a dumbbell or a ledge, we're simply just going to do calf stretch, work our way up the body. So calf stretch would just be here. I'm going to keep my knees straight. Right? If I have a wall, I'm going to kind of lean in that wall like Tiffany is here. We're going to hang out here for a minute with our legs straight, and then immediately into a minute with my knee bent. So it's going to be, we're going to spend some time. So, all right, kind of the calf is one of the strongest muscles in the body. So I'm just going to start lecturing as we're holding now. So a little ledge, a little thing like that. Again, knee is straight. And if I have an object, I might be in front of that object. But if I have a wall like Tiffany, her foot that she's stretching is in front of her. All right, keeping that knee really straight, pressing that heel into the ground. Calf's one of the most strong levers in our body, muscle tissue. Right? It's kind of like the spring system of our body. So it takes a lot to increase the range of motion here. So you really got to focus on keep drawing your big toe, your toes into your shin, flexing your shin. I can't believe you need the heater on. Tiffany just turned the heater. She's chilly. I'm all warmed up. All right, and lean in a little bit more. So it takes a lot to break up that tissue, okay? And so that's been about a full minute on that with my legs straight. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to unglue my knee. So I'm going to soften up my knee. I'm going to continue to stretch, okay? Now from the front, depending on what you can see of your screen, right, we could fan the knee a little bit. So the knee isn't two-dimensional, or the calf, I should say. So I might try to just literally rotate my knee to the left and to the right, all right? Just trying to kind of work some range of motion out, all right? You can do that on the wall too. You need to put that foot really flat against the wall and then kind of come forward. And again, I'm just trying to work some range and get some angles. You might find that your ankle wants to twist one way and not the other. And we're trying to loosen up that pocket, loosen up that joint a little bit. So, and it doesn't have to be as dynamic as I'm showing you. You can just kind of lean into some corners here. Let's see if I can keep these 2-minute stretches entertained and occupied. I think my skin's still on fire from, I think I got sunburnt yesterday. I was outside a lot.
Yeah, you did.
All right, so they're going to do these same 2 stretches on the other side, okay? So 1 minute of a straight-legged knee stretch. Okay, this stretches a different calf muscle than when we bend our legs. So legs straight, lean in. Again, Tiffany, if you can see her from the wall, she's using that wall. She's putting her ball of foot up against there and just leaning forward. And I can still rotate my hip a little bit to get some different corners and trying to turn my femur and just kind of settle in. Again, it takes about 30 to 40 seconds for the protective mechanism to kind of shut off of our muscle to make sure that we're not getting injured. And then from there, we can get into second gear of the stretch. That's the gear where Peter jerkily shifts his car into, Jesse, every time you drive with him. All right. Sorry, it gets the best of us. Second gear is a tough one in most standards. All right, and then we're gonna soften that knee up. So take the angle off, unglue your knee, all right, and then lean forward a little bit more, get nice and deep in there. Nothing like some good foot health. So a lot of us, even if we're flexible, sometimes we're lacking that. And even as for me to kind of entertain the ideas of like, oh, what kind of new fancy stretches can we do? I was doing some research, and there is like nothing sexy about calf stretches. Like I like the newest thing, the fanciest thing, right? The thing that'll make you guys go like, oh, that's new. And calf stretches is like find a stair, find a wall, find a ledge, or foam roll the heck out of it and just settle in, lean in, get comfortable with that heel dropping to the floor, creating more length. All right, anyway, so it can be a step, a stair, a wall. How's your toe doing? Tiff says it's just okay.
It's like stretching my toe, which isn't bad.
Well, you gotta get your foot up. If she put her sneakers on, all right. All
I bet a
right,
lot of
now
people don't have sneakers on for mobility.
that's okay. All right, from here, we'll get into the meaty stuff. 2 minutes in the left split. All right, so we're gonna settle in. So I really want us to settle in, not just focus on keeping the back leg posted here. So I'm gonna give us 15 seconds to get into position. All right, and I'm gonna have us just wiggle my left foot forward, keep wiggling. Now at the same time, my right leg is sweeping out the back. I don't want this to be the one where I just kind of lean forward, but I'm protecting my hip flexor. This is covering both our hip flexor and our hamstring today. So I want you to keep wiggling, keep wiggling, keep wiggling. Get that back knee to slide out as far as you can. Keep going. All right, even further, get that. So it's a hip flexor stretch too. Yeah, like we're gonna run into something behind us. So you can get those fingertips to the floor. All right, keep settling. I'm gonna say we're 20 seconds in. We're gonna grow every 20 to 30 seconds, okay? Now you could feel this one more in your hamstring or the back of the knee of the front leg, or you could feel this more into the hip flexor. So I want you to just keep reaching and settling, keep reaching and settling, all right? If you do have an object, sometimes it helps to hold, not a big deal, just working with body weight today. Crawl that leg out there a little bit more, right? In gymnastics, they have like a chair that they put the front foot and the back foot on.
Your coaches would just come like lean on your shoulders and press you to the ground.
Yep, pretend I'm gonna come by and just push your shoulders low to the floor. Keep inching that leg out there further and further. We're just over a minute in. Try to relax. We're fighting this position, but relax those arms, let things lengthen. Whether you feel hamstring in the front or hip flexor in the back, that's probably the one we need to work on more. And again, those legs have traction, so you can keep reaching. All right, settling in, settling in, settling in. We have 30 more seconds, so dig deep. It's a little bit of an upper body workout, that's okay. I'm okay with it, I should say. And keep letting that back knee slide out. All right, this should feel a little tricky to get out to. 15 more seconds.
Just thinking that. Pretty sure I'm stuck.
Yeah, if you feel like you're stuck at the end of this, then I think you did it right. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give ourselves 10 seconds to get out of that, 15 seconds. All right, so that was 2 minutes. Flew by for me. And then we're gonna go to the other side. All right, so as we were setting up, kind of crawling in, letting that, for me now, my left knee is sliding out the back. I'm trying to keep my hips square. All right, since I have this dumbbell, I'm gonna use it. You want a hand? All right, but just kind of settling the best we can. And again, I'm kind of equal tight in my hip flexor and hamstring, so I'm feeling a little bit of both, depending on where I cue and what I cue. I can sit upright a little bit more and feel a little more hip flexor in the back. I can lean forward a little more and feel a little more hamstring in the front. And we're just gonna grow for 2 minutes here. Just gonna settle in, fight that shoulder burn, or at least my shoulders are burning a little bit. Huh? Tiff says hers are burning. And just as a heads up, after we get up this one, I'm gonna give you an option to get close to a wall. Okay, so if you have wall space in about a minute and 20 seconds, then I'll encourage you to get there. Yeah, nobody wanted to hear that number. Right? If you don't, then that's fine. We can always default back to the pigeon stretch. That's my favorite glute stretch. Okay, so just kind of settle in. But if you do have a wall, we'll focus on a different glute stretch today. All right, and I'll show you how to set it up first off. But we have another minute. No, 40 seconds. So just exhale, right? If you're working anything, it should be the shoulders. The legs should be as relaxed as they can be. I'm still getting a few more centimeters out of my front leg every 10 to 20 seconds. Dig deep with me here. 20 seconds. Nice big exhales. Create some length down either the hip flexor in the back. Visualize that hamstring stretching in the front. It's a deep burn. Hear the birds tweeting. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Great.
Beautiful weekend.
Awesome. And then slowly come up out of that. Oh, it takes about 20 seconds, right? So from here, so it's going to be our figure 4 stretch against the wall. I'm going to use this post as my wall. Okay, so just to show you, if you want to stick with the standard pigeon, that's totally fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of sit up just like we would do some other stretches that we do here, but I'm going to get my butt cheek close to the wall. I'm going to then put my knee against the wall here. All right, my butt can actually be pretty close to that wall. And then I'm going to bridge my bum up, cross my right ankle over my left knee. Can they see me, Tiff? And then I'm going to sit back and down. All right, so I'm crossing my right leg over. All right, and I'm trying to draw my lower back to the floor here. So by doing this, I'm bringing my shin into my torso, right? The distance between my lower back and the floor is getting less, all right? And therefore creating a nice stretch in what would be the pigeon stretch or my glute. So if you can find this, awesome. The closer you get your butt to the wall and then put my foot against the wall, the more you're gonna get out of this. So have at that. I'm gonna start my timer in about 5 seconds. Hopefully you've been kind of setting this up while I've been talking. And then off we go for about 2 minutes in this position. Tiffany, you good?
Yeah, I was just checking to see if everyone was good.
Everyone getting it?
Mhm.
If not, and again, we can default to a pigeon if you're like, Nick, I don't want to put my foot on my wall. All right, everyone knows that pigeon stretch, that yoga stretch. Which one are you choosing, Tiff? You can join me at an angle.
I can probably just use this pole.
All right, so it's been 30 seconds. So you should feel that lower back slowly getting closer to the floor. Right, just a little bit more and a little bit more. And as we do this at the same time, now that we've been settling in for about 50 seconds, you can take your right arm and drive it into that knee a little bit, push that knee away from you. Right, and you should feel that rotate the hip a little bit more. What's nice about this one is it's not as much work as the pigeon, if you can get into it, because your shoulders aren't burning, right? If you notice during the splits, your shoulders are burning. So instead of getting into the level of stretch, might have been more about the intensity of holding your body weight up. Where here, really there's not much we can do. We can check our phones, we can scroll, we can relax, and then slowly let gravity just try to draw our lower back to the floor for another 30 seconds here. So we've been at this one for a while, so hopefully that right butt cheek, that glute stretch is in a good position. Nice exhales every once in a while, probably more than me because I'm trying to chat away the time. Right, every time we exhale, create a little more length. I'm in that like group instructor mode where I'm trying to make it look easy even though I'm dying inside. All right, shoulders back and down, nice and low. And then slowly come out of that. That's been 2 minutes at that position. So you're gonna put the other foot on the wall. If the wall pushed you away a little bit, then scoot a little bit closer again. All right, so I might start a little bit closer knowing the wall scooted me. And now I'm gonna have my right foot on the wall, left leg crossing over the knee. And then I'm gonna try to start sitting down again, slowly coming into that. 16:45, Tiffany, remember that? So 18:45. All right, I can make this stretch more intense by bringing my foot closer to me. I'm sorry, lower down the wall by right leg. But again, for most of us, myself included, just trying to drive that left knee out and bring my lower back to the floor is gonna be enough of this stretch. Really, Annie? Annie, come here. Annie, come here.
She just smells.
Annie, come here. Not like on me. She was like sitting on Tiffany's head. Hi, you're so weird. Or maybe she's just stressed out. She's like, who are we talking to? So let that lower back settle in a little bit more. Nice big exhales. Again, maybe you're just taking a couple of nuggets each week? And if so, I hope that's the case and you're incorporating this, maybe this good mobility stretches, or maybe you like this new wall glute stretch instead of the pigeon stretch, right? Yeah, anything that's less work, right? At our gym, I think our gym is so busy these days with equipment that we don't have a lot of wall space, but doing a lot of this wall work is great. Putting your legs up against the wall and elevating, right? That V-sit position that we used to do. And Annie, is that your belly?
I think she may need to go out.
I think our dog needs to go outside. We're hearing belly rumblings. 25 more seconds.
Oh my God.
If anyone can see our dog, she's shaking. She's got like the nervous Nellies.
I'll go with her in a minute.
Or she just let it go, Annie. Nice big exhales. We're almost there, team. 10 more seconds. One more exhale, one more relax. Get that lower back a little bit lower to the floor. Awesome. So we're going to come out of that. Take your time. That one's a little bit tricky to get in and out of. Give us 15 to 20 seconds. All right. And then from there, so again, we cover all domains of the hips. You want to, Annie, let's go. Annie. We're going to go into straddle. So straddle, we did this one. This was an awesome core workout on Monday. I was fired up for it. All right. So we're just going to have our feet out nice and wide. All right. Dancers, you might want to point your toes. All right. You're going to try to get your feet as wide as possible. You can do this one against a wall. If you have an object like a dumbbell or anything, or a couch that you can kind of pull yourself into, that's fine. Or that's even better, I should say. But we're just going to try to turn those legs out. All right, try to drive those knees, keep those quads engaged, and rotate my foot outwards if you can see that. And then we're just going to try to crawl forward, okay? Now, again, I'm like an amateur at this, but dancers or gymnasts in the room can get kind of belly buttons or chest to the ground. And throughout 2 minutes, which I'm going to start now, you're probably there before me, we're just going to try to crawl. Now, if we're really inflexible, putting our hands behind us and lifting our chest more and then trying to push our chest to the ground is going to help, okay? So if we're not feeling the forward stretch or we're rounding too much, putting your hands behind your hips or your back pockets, lifting your chest and coming forward is totally acceptable here. In every 15 to 20 seconds, we're just going to try to crawl forward a little bit more and a little bit more. All right, flex those quads. Keep crawling forward again. If you can like grab under your couch ledge, a dumbbell in front of you, the edge of a carpet, anything like that.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
You should 100% do this.
Find a dog. And he's just being weird. So, yeah, the tip of the day, let's get outside. Let's not get a sunburn. Forgot what the sun is like after 2 to 3 weeks.
When you have a mohawk.
Yeah, I might have burned the top of my head yesterday for getting ahead of mohawk. And then, yeah, I feel like we haven't seen the sun since like March. And then a little bit deeper, every 10 to 15 seconds. We still have another 55 seconds in this position. And yet, she is hilarious. All right, and out of this stretch, right, you can keep reaching forward, try to maintain a little bit of integrity in our spine so it can round a little bit, but not a lot, again, for that upper back. $20 more seconds, keep reaching. Before you know it, this class is just gonna be like, we're gonna hold this one stretch for 30 minutes. Hopefully we don't get there if we keep progressing the time. That would mean it's a lot of weeks away. All right, we're gonna come out of that. I'm gonna try, depending on our knees healthy again, half lotus. So half lotus is, the best of my ability, right? Again, I'm not a yogi pro, but I'm working on it. For most of us, we're gonna try to get about 90 degrees at the knee, at the left knee, and then I'm gonna take my ankle bone of my right leg, put it on my knee. All right, so I have 90 degrees. I'm gonna try to sit down, all right? Those a little more advanced than me might be able to progress this, but what I'm gonna try to do is get my right butt cheek down. Again, assuming that my left leg is underneath, I'm gonna get my right butt cheek to the ground, and I'm gonna try to sit up nice and tall. I'm gonna try to get my right knee down to touch that ankle. For a lot of this is gonna be pretty mean here. You have to get this position right, because this stretch can get easy. If my foot falls off, right? Very easy for me to do. It's that ankle bone right on the ball of the quad there, the knee itself, and those shins matching together. Again, I find my legs at 90 degrees at the knee to be effective of a stretch, where if I bring my feet in too close, I can kind of bypass this and just kind of feel like I'm flexible. So, and just try to relax, get that right butt cheek to the floor. And you're actually getting both hips at the same time here. So we're getting that left and that right side. All right, we're not going to settle in for 2 minutes on this one. More like a minute, minute 15. But this one's about cueing. So I am applying pressure with my left arm more than my right to try to shift my body weight over the right side of my body, trying to get that butt cheek down to the ground. And once that's there, then I'm going to start working on closing this gap. Okay, so bring my right knee down towards that left ankle. This is like hard, but we don't know why, at least for most of us. Again, keeping that neutral spine. You can always lean forward a little bit more in this and get a little more out of it, or stay nice and upright and just focus on that hip at a different angle. All right, and remember to relax. All right, our body's trying to fight or flight right now, thinking it's going to get injured, but we have this nice steady tension going on, so just relax. Let everything melt a little bit deeper. Don't get sleepy.
Judge.
Tiffany's lotus is hilarious if anyone can see it.
Judge.
Her knee is in her
He's
chin.
blocking me.
Yeah, she's hiding, she's shielding from Annie. Slowly come up out of that. Okay, so we're gonna go to the other side now. So again, setting this stretch up. So my right leg is on bottom. All right, I'm gonna flex my ankle to protect my knee. I'm gonna have my knee at 90 degrees. I'm gonna take my left ankle bone, this outside ankle bone, put it right on top of the knee there, and then I'm gonna try to drop down. All right, so from here, my left side's a little bit uglier. So I'm gonna look a little more Tiffany-esque in lotus here.
Worse.
Left side's even worse. And again, so now the cues that I'm using, nice lifted chest. I'm applying pressure with my right hand, pressing my left butt cheek down to the floor, trying to close this distance from my knee to my ankle here. Right? And again, this one, probably not too hard of a stretch, right? So the stretch that's probably the hardest for the day was that split stretch where, at least for me, the shoulders were burning and I was working real hard, right? If I'm gonna settle into hamstring stretches, I might use like the pull stretch here and kick my legs up. But that wall pigeon stretch or the wall figure 4 stretch was effective. And same thing here, we're not hopefully working too hard to get to this position. It should just be like the longer we're here, the more that muscles are pulling apart like warm taffy. All right, like now I can feel my left butt cheek on the ground. It just settled a little bit, right? Neutral spine again, and then try to apply some pressure down on that left knee. And we can always lean forward more to get more out of this. Sorry for those who are way more advanced in flexibility who are on here than me. I'm like, I feel this, so you should. For those who are like, Nick, Lotus is easy. Well, you're on your own then. Because most of the people I see, no, just kidding. There's a rare exception of those who are really flexible. I'll try to always keep engaging.
Like 3 of them are on right now.
I know, right? All the dancers and flexible ones are on. All right, from here, we're just gonna untangle those legs, just a few for the upper body today, because I think we work mostly on the hips, but that's where the bigger muscle groups are. So just crawl our hands behind us. We go to that crab walk stretch that we do. So I want my fingertips facing back. I'm going to try here, I'll show you from the side, but then I'm gonna go to the front, tip stake. Put fingertips back, about shoulder width apart, lift my chest, and then like a dog with an itchy butt, I'm just gonna try to scoop my butt forward. All right, and then I'm gonna keep my hands where they are. For those who are really flexible, then we can bend the elbows back to the wall behind us. We should find that pretty engaging for our front of our shoulders. Okay, and again, this isn't going to be a 2-minute stretch. So create length down the collarbones, or all right. So nice lifted chest, like we're stretching out the logo on the front of our shirt. All right, you can always scoot my butt away a little bit more. All right, I can arch my lower back, trying to get more out of this, creating a more shoulder extension, this is actually called. Isn't that weird? Shoulders are confusing. If anyone studies anatomy and physiology, flexion, shoulder flexion is actually when you raise your arm over your head. And extension is this, one way my arm goes past my body. I've always found that weird because it's very counterintuitive. All right, lift that chest a little more, or again, you can unbend those elbows, settle in, get a little bit more of an internal rotation stretch. For me, it's all about that left side. I feel more restriction on the left side than the right. Awesome. And we're slowly going to come out of that, right? Shoulders are kind of few and far between for effective stretches. But when we have all the tools, again, think of how spoiled we are at the gym. Foam rollers and lacrosse balls. And then we're just going to go pinkies touching. My favorite that I feel like most of us need is this forearm stretch. Pinkies touching, knees face, or fingers touching my knee, or facing my knees. Oh my God, words. And then let's sit back. All right, again, 2 options on this stretch. One would be keeping my elbows straight. The second, maybe a little more advanced, would be to bend my elbows. Bend my elbows towards my torso. I don't know if you can see that subtle difference, right? But the more I can lean back, I feel like you've gotten better at this one, Tiff.
My joints are getting more hypermobile.
Oh yeah, it's because she's got relaxin in her body. I'm gonna say Tiffany used to never be able to touch her pinkies. And this is also a shoulder stretch, so don't let this one fool you. Just by opening up, keeping those shoulder blades back and down while we're stretching those forearms, settling in, sinking in. And this should help with our rack position. Right? Anyone with wrist problems or pain, usually if you heard my mantra of it's usually never the wrist's fault, it's usually the shoulder's fault. So if we have wrist problems, chances are it stems at the shoulder, all right, and we need to work on that shoulder flexibility. So with that being said, that is all she wrote for the day. I think I went a little bit over her usual Nick style. I hope you got something out of at least 30% of the stretches that we did today. I know I certainly did. And then if anyone is feeling mobile and flexy and wants to go out and move, run, jog, just give me a wave and a send off. If anyone wants to stay and chat, we'll have some coffee. And then nice job today, team. Let me unmute y'all. No death rock music in the background, maybe. For mobility.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Whoever just said bye. What did we like? What didn't we like?
The wall stretch.
The wall stretch we liked or didn't like?
I loved it.
Oh, good. Okay, nice.
I actually did the lotus and also the straddle on the wall too. That felt good.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you have the wall space to do the straddle on the wall, that's awesome. It's like anything. BJ, see you, buddy. Anything that you can like check your phone while you're stretching is like kind of a. That means it's like, you know, like it's a low barrier of like as long as it's effective and you're not like dilly dallying, right?
Yeah, well, it released a lot of like the pressure on the back too. So
yeah, it's a nice spine decompression.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked that that wall pigeon.
Yeah, I did too.
I forgot about that one.
So what are we doing today? Yard work, projects. Chris, what is that cement pad for? Is it a hot tub? It is.
Oh,
I didn't know forever. I'm like, why is he putting so much time? I don't think anyone builds a cement pad like you. That was like, looks like it was overbuilt.
Hey, Bryn.
Say good morning to Tiff and Nick.
Aww.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Bye, Ashley.
Guys.
And then Sarah.
Hey,
I don't know how you
Sarah.
got your house so quiet. Is everyone sleeping or just in another room?
I think they're starting to wake up, but they were all asleep when I started.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even Adam?
He's awake, but up in bed still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have him
I'm
zoom
gonna
in
go for a
from
run.
Who was that? Was
See a
the
birdie? Huh?
yeah. Nice job, Chris.
Good, Chris.
It's not even that big. That's what's frustrating about it.
40 bags of cement or something like that. That's a
38.
workout.
Oh my gosh.
Not that we're. That's the dream. Who else? I think Mark Dalbon. They got one of those like $300 or $200 inflatable ones from Amazon, and I'm like, that you have my
Yeah.
you have my attention. Yeah.
Yeah, because he asked me how much those were, like a legit one.
Yeah.
And he's too stingy to buy one because he's been asking for years. So I was laughing when they bought that.
Well, ours isn't the price of the hot tub, it's the price of running it because our electric bill is already like crazy high here.
Yeah.
So-
Lancaster's got some weird energy thing where
Yeah.
electricity is like blood money.
Yeah.
Who runs their electric? Is it National Grid?
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is, but-
Which in Leominster
Yeah,
was
National Grid in
unbelievable.
Leominster, but it's just, yeah, our house is, I mean, we pay a lot.
Well,
now.
Unitil's not any better. You don't want Unitil either.
No,
No,
God, no.
Unitil is
Unitil
horrible.
sucks.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
the National Grid in Leominster is outrageous too.
Really?
Yeah.
When we lived on West Street, it was like bananas cheap.
Yeah.
Really?
Our house was just more efficient or something. I don't know, but
Mine is like ridiculous.
Put a
We
couple
have-
solar panels out in the backyard.
I know.
you know, we have a metal roof, so I don't know.
They can't do it. Yeah, they can't do it on our roof.
Yeah, put them in the backyard.
Our kids
Yeah,
would be
but-
climbing all over them.
Yeah.
Healthy, right?
So my mom came to stay with me for a while, and she has an oxygenator. So it
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like the size of. Oh my God, my electric bill more than doubled.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, plus you have to keep it, well, the heat's separate, but you have to keep it at like 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the parents.
My sister's all excited. She's like, you know how much our electric bill went down? Because my mom used to be there.
I live in
Take them
Sterling.
back.
Kathy, since you have a bike, you should pedal to keep the oxygenator running.
Like a little gerbil.
They do that. Yeah, I heard they're giving away electricity in Sterling, Chris.
My electric bill last month with everyone home and every light on in the house for the entire month was $87.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Tiffany's
Wow.
mom, yeah, Tiff's mom lives in Sterling. It's the same thing.
What do you guys have, Chris?
Sterling Municipal.
Oh, they
Oh.
subsidize, that's why.
And that's right in the center of town, right? That's right up
Yeah.
in the, yeah.
I'm from Sterling, that's it.
They're awesome. But I pay $130 a month year round, and it ticks them off because there's a credit, but it covers the pool in the summertime and the air conditioning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
My highest summertime bill with the pool and the air conditioner was like $160.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
got
why
that
we
going for us.
don't have a hot tub.
Yeah.
We had like 2 chances to get hot tubs.
Yeah,
In
some like
Leominster,
usable.
Gonna like double our electric bill. We're gonna have like
In
5
Leominster, our hot tub costs us like maybe $20 in the winter, $25, but it was a small one. This one's
Oh,
going to be a lot bigger, but this one has a special circulator pump which runs and keeps it.
warm.
There's a third pump that just runs constantly. That's lower horsepower than the other two. So when you're not in it, it's not like cranking away.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We had when
So-
we have electric baseboard, and I'm sure when we ran heat without our propane stoves on in the winter one time, our bill was, what was it? Our electricity bill was like $850,
$1,200.
$1,200 for electric, plus our
Plus
mortgage.
heat.
Yeah.
Plus mortgage.
Well,
Our
mortgage.
first month that we lived here.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
We've had to do a lot to like try to make it efficient. We don't use our electric baseboard except for in our kids' room. That's the only spot. We actually ripped it out most of our house.
What do you have for heat? Didn't you get it?
Propane stoves. We have 2 propane stoves that heats our entire downstairs. So it's just our upstairs in our boys' room has a baseboard, electric baseboard. That's it.
Fireplace?
Mhm.
yeah, just like
The
a
fireplaces in
our-
the kitchen and the living room.
we have 2 Hearthstone fireplaces that are propane fed.
This has been over before.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those 2, that keeps our house plenty warm.
Wow.
We tried an experiment. It's been a 2-year experiment of like, for us, whether keeping our house at like the same temperature all winter, like say 67 degrees, or like, you know, that's morning, noon, and night, even when you go to bed, or if like, you know, like
Turn it
cutting
up
it
and turn it
down and cutting
down.
it down and whatnot, or like we don't have programmable because it's like a fireplace, and it's definitely less expensive to turn it down and turn it up, because we kept it at 67.
We were
and
using
like,
a lot of propane.
yeah, we had to refill our propane
Oh,
tank
yeah.
another couple times.
But it was still cheaper than the electric baseboard, so.
Yeah. Because you're in a bind. They say those like mini split units are super efficient, but they also run off electricity. So
Yeah.
if your electric rates are high,
Yeah,
they get you over a barrel.
exactly. Yeah, so we just keep it in the kids' room upstairs. But we're going to upgrade those to some more efficient ones too.
You just need to get them really warm sleeping bags.
I know, right? Well, we have heated mattress pad on our bed. Once they're like
Yeah.
in big kid beds, we should probably do this.
Well, they're fine. They're upstairs, so they get heat just from because
It's
heat
warmer
rises. Yeah.
upstairs.
She doesn't run like a space heater, Nick?
No, we do in the
In
winter.
the winter, we do.
No, I'm
yeah.
saying your wife. Like when mine goes to sleep, she's like 1,000 degrees, so I don't need a heater in the bed. She's just
Oh.
between that and getting pushed off the edge.
No, Tiffany's like her. No, she's like
I'm cold.
hot, she's like cold. It's like
Yeah, I
cold
run
feet.
cold.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
we need a divider wall.
Yeah. The heated mattress pad was like the best investment ever. It's like
Twin
so
beds.
comfy to get into
Yeah.
bed.
You ever see that How I Met Your Marshall's episode where it's like Lily and Marshall, and then they get How I Met Your Mother, and they go to a bed and breakfast, and they only had twin beds left, and then they fall asleep on separate twin beds, and they woke up and it was like Sunday night, and they're like, we just slept 2 days straight. So they would spend the rest of the episode going home and converting their bedroom to 2 twin beds because they slept so good. Like,
That's
this is
awesome. Bye, guys. I'll see you
All right,
later.
Stace, yeah, he hits
Bye.
those. Yeah,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
awesome. All right, guys.
Have a good Sunday.
Bye.